Okay, welcome to Chastity's Chess Challenge, the Twitch stream where I teach you chess openings, play some games, have some fun, and you get to see me win or lose. That's what this show is. This is what I do now for fun. So, today's topic is the London system, and what you see here on the screen here is the opening to the London system. Now here's the basics of it. Now focus on the white pieces because the exact moves played by black don't actually matter for the purposes of this. So let me explain what I mean. The goal of the London system, there's many goals of the London system, and I want to walk you through why I play the London system, how I play the London system, and the different kinds of things that can happen. The London system is the most flexible opening you can possibly play for white. Okay, and the reason it's so flexible is because you get your queen's pawn out, you get your bishop into the action quickly, and then you've only moved those pieces. There's all kinds of other things you can do. But there is a specific setup that begins with the London system. So I don't know what this is actually called, but here is the system, and many chess players have used this. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to just make some moves back and forth for black so that I can get white into a specific position. You'll see what I'm doing here because I just have to make moves with one. Yeah. See, here's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get the pieces into position here. Okay, there we go. And notice here, now black is back where it started. So focus on the white pieces here. I want you to see something very important here. This is the setup that I like to use. Now, you typically won't make all of these moves in a game because your opponent may start already attacking and you may start losing pieces before you get to this point. But this is what you should be shooting for. So let's suppose your opponent is messing around, or let's suppose they are, moving out the pieces, but they're not posing a direct threat that you have to deal with. This is kind of the situation that you want to be in, what you see on the screen here. Now look at this. You'll notice that these two knights defend each other. These knights defend each other because of their position. And we have a pyramid of pawns. One notable thing about this situation is that we have this bishop on the diagonals here. We have this bishop on the diagonals, and we have a lot of pieces protecting each other. Now, here's where things are interesting. This is a flexible position because you can either, at this point, castle kingside, or if you want to move your queen out of the way so you can castle queenside, you can do that as well. And the queen has a lot of options right here because you see right here, the queen can move here and put the king in check, but right now that's a bad move because then black just moves the bishop out. So really, what you would want to do is you would want to move the queen here. If you were trying to attack something there, then you would probably move the queen behind here to back up your bishop. But what I like to do, my personal favorite thing to do is actually to move the queen right here. And the reason that you want to do this is so that the king on the next move can castle queenside or kingside. Regardless, whichever side you castle on your next turn, your two rooks will be connected. So let's just say, for example, if you castle this way, the rooks protect each other. But if you go back and you castle queenside, your rooks also protect each other. Now, but the large part of this is that most of the time your opponent will castle, and then you will decide to castle based on which side your opponent castled on. But there's something else you don't have to castle immediately. The point of this London system and these pieces protecting each other is it's flexible. You should be responding to your opponent's threats, depending on what they're trying to do to you. And if you can reach this final defensive position, it's great. This is a fortress, basically. Now, specifically, part of the reason that I like this specific setup is that if we had moved the queen over to this spot, there would be nothing we're attacking. But because I moved the queen over to this spot, the queen and the bishop defend each other just like they would on the other spot. However, they're both targeting this. So here's what you can do. If you look at this, you can capture a pawn. Now, capturing a pawn is not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea in general. However, if you are in Crazy House and you capture a pawn, that's actually a very good thing. Now, keep in mind, doing this is a little bit dangerous. And why is this dangerous? Well, quite simply because, black can separate your bishop and your queen like this. Notice that black can't just capture your bishop here, because if they capture your bishop, then you capture their rook, and then they're really behind in material, and you'll checkmate them soon. So the best move for black to do in this situation probably is to separate these, the bishop and the queen here. That's a good idea generally, because that means the bishop can't be defended anymore. You're going to lose. White will lose the bishop in this position. Alternatively, in this specific case, because the knight happens to be here, and that was just a random move I made just so that I could get the formation for white's side. But in this case, if your knight is there, you can put this pawn in the way. You can totally do that. But regardless of which you do, and this is probably more general because your knight's not always going to be here. So this is a good move for black. But even in this situation, things are a little bit dangerous. And here's what I mean, because white has lost the bishop, but white can still capture this pawn. And then when this pawn captures the bishop, then white comes here, captures the pawn, and puts the king in check. That's where it gets a little dangerous here. Because if you look at this, then now in this case, this knight is here, but a lot of times this knight is somewhere else because the opponent's doing something else. So let's pretend this knight isn't. Actually, since this knight is here, let's try blocking the check this way. Well, that works for a little bit, but then look at this. Now this knight moves here, and this knight can't capture this knight. The opponent could try something, but literally nothing else they do can put the king in check. They don't have any development right now. Of course, that's because I messed up black's moves. So it's not the best example. But then, regardless of what move, black attempts to do, then white can come and just checkmate right there. Or even funnier is to just capture this knight. It's not checkmate, and the king can still move. But then the queen is in danger. So the queen can come here, but then the knight moves, puts the king in check, discover check with the queen, and then when the king moves, then we capture the queen. So then the thing is, the whole point of the London is to build an unbreakable fortress and then attack your opponent as you see fit. But you may be wondering, well, okay, Chastity, how in the world can you prove that the London system works without an example game? You're making all the moves, and trust me, I hear you. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, absolutely. You need a real game against either a CPU or an actual person to really appreciate the London system. So here's what I'm thinking of doing. I am thinking of trying first, let's do a level 1 Stockfish game, because I can beat a level 1 computer. If I were to play Stockfish level 8, then I would just lose the game every time and I would ruin my teaching example. Let's be real, guys. Playing against Stockfish Level 8 means no matter what opening I choose, I'm still going to lose. So let's go with level 1 for now. Let's try this out. And because the London system is classically a white opening, although you can use it from the black side as well, you just have to remember to reverse the positions. So you'll need to learn it first with white and then try it with black. So I'm going to play as white here, and I'm playing against Stockfish level 1. So let me see if everything's here. Okay, so here we go. I am going to use the London system, the defensive fortress that I just tried to show you in the analysis board. I'm going to show me using it against level 1 Stockfish. And let's see how this works out. So Queen's Pawn. Let's see. The computer did Queen's Pawn too, but it doesn't really matter too much what black does because the goal is to get white's pieces in a certain formation. So what I'm doing is I got the bishop out, I got the pawn structure going. I'm going to bring this knight out. Let's see here. Let's get the other knight out and just see what happens. See, we've got almost the complete formation at this point because black hasn't attacked yet. Black is still just getting the knights out. Okay, now you see I have the basic London system here, but I don't yet have the bishop out here, nor do I have the queen here. Now keep in mind, black has started to attack, and when your opponent attacks your pieces, that means you need to do something. But in this case, I'm not worried because look at it. My two knights protect each other. And because they protect each other, I have no reason to be alarmed of this attack yet. And the knight's certainly not going to just come here because then my king will kill it. So let's just continue with the setup. Let's just continue and put the bishop here, get the formation going. Interesting. So you see here what's happened. Now what's happened here is black has decided to attack my bishop here. And that means I need to do something with this bishop. Now there's some good options here. But because this is not the analysis board, I can't show you the different possibilities. But one possibility, of course, is to simply bring the bishop to here. That's one possibility. And then if they capture, then open this up here. That's one possibility. But a much more likely situation is just to bring the bishop here. Because if the knight captures it, then my knight or pawn capture the knight. So let's try this. I'm attacking the rook by moving the bishop there. Oh, now isn't that interesting? You see how this is? So now I have the option to either capture this knight with my other knight, or I can go ahead and capture the rook. And because the rook is a more valuable piece here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to capture this rook. I'm just going to destroy the rook. Stockfish level 1 will let me take its rook. Okay, now this is interesting. Stockfish level 1 didn't try to capture this knight. Didn't try to do that. Oh, I feel like I heard a sound. I feel like I heard a sound. Okay. Oh, Satya Kamitra is raiding with a party of 1. Could someone tell me what a raid means? Because I would like to know what a raid means here. I do need to research more about Twitch, but I just never find the time. I work full time and I'm a college student. I'm taking a break from my school right now to do a chess stream. Okay, anyway, so now instead of taking my knight, Stockfish decided to move this pawn here. And honestly, I think I will just bring the, actually, I don't want to lose this knight. I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to capture that knight with that knight. That's what I'm going to do. It's not really a bad thing. And then what I'm going to do, I believe I am going to go ahead and, well, I could take this pawn either with the bishop or with the pawn. Which do I want to do? It's hard to say, but I'm going to use the bishop because I just feel like it for this time. I don't know why I feel like it, but I'm just going to go with it. And because I'm playing against Stockfish level 1, the CPU is not very smart, so it actually hasn't captured very much of my stuff. I've lost one knight, but I have more material here. So with this being the case, what kind of dangerous threat can I do? Well, first of all, there is no rook because I killed it, so let's bring this queen over here. Then what will the opponent do? Okay. This is going to be very entertaining now. Let's get the knight involved in the action here. Okay. So that pawn moved there, and I have no reason to be concerned with that. Instead, I'm going to move this knight here. Okay. Very interesting. Now I'm going to do something. Well, I don't know if that's really what I want to do. Let's attack the queen with, wait a minute. If I attack the queen with the bishop, the queen will just kill the bishop and that won't do anything. How interesting. Okay, there's got to be some solution here. There's got to be something dangerous I can do. Actually, now would actually be a really good time to like start getting some other pieces active, because really nothing is happening right now with these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this pawn and see what the opponent does. Will they capture that pawn or not? Instead, the knight captured that bishop, but I wasn't really using that bishop. So with that being said, let's capture back that knight. That'll work. Okay. And now let's attack the queen with this pawn. Let's try that. Let's attack the queen with the pawn. Now the queen has moved. The queen has very much moved. And that's great because now my queen can just come up here and put the king in check. That's excellent. And then my queen can just come here and capture the bishop. This is absolutely fabulous. And now this knight comes right here, puts the king in check. It's checkmate. It's absolutely checkmate. But that was level 1 Stockfish. So I get that it's not impressive. However, playing with Stockfish at a low level is a great way to demonstrate the defensive position of the London system without having to wait for a human opponent that's taking a long time trying to move. So let's back up. Let's go back to the beginning and see what happened. I started setting up the defensive London formation here, and I didn't even finish the development, and then Black started attacking me. And that's common to happen, especially if your opponent is strong. My opponent was kind of weak. It was Stockfish level 1 here, but still, I never completed my full London system setup. So here's what I'm going to do next. First of all, I'm going to check the comments. And let's see, Satya. Okay, let's see here. Okay, again, can you tell me what a braid is? Because I don't really know what a raid is. I need to look that up, what that is, when I'm not streaming so I can read and absorb the information. But if somebody can just tell me in a quick chat what a raid actually means, I'd be glad to know. So what I'm going to do is let's go to level 2 Stockfish. Let's try the London system against level 2 Stockfish, playing as white again, because it's easier to demonstrate the London system because white has better control of the opening because white makes the first move. Talk about white privilege. Now this is interesting here because if I was playing most games, I would go ahead because actually, you know what? See right here, the first two moves, starting the London system, before I ever get to the formation here, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to capture that, because what that does is that gets rid of a knight. And knights are so deadly. So without the threat of that knight, I'm just going to continue building the rest of my London system minus the bishop, because I can do that. So let's see. The main formation that bishop is required. The main idea of getting the bishop out there, besides attacking things that it does find, is to be able to castle queenside if that's what you want to do later on. So that's just a generally good idea. Okay, let's get this bishop out right here. Okay, and so now I have this defensive formation, but then the opponent just decided to move this pawn all the way. And I'm just gonna not let that pawn move anymore. Let's just move this pawn forward. That pawn is just trapped there forever now. Okay, that queen has decided to come here. Now it's easy to see what the queen is doing. So while if that queen wasn't there, I might decide to move the knight out, start getting some kind of threat going on here. But then because that queen is here, I'm going to move my queen here to defend that, because I like to move this queen to this spot anyway. So now what do I want to do here? What do I want to do? So now we have a situation here, because do I want to I can castle on either side. I could castle here, which isn't really a bad thing to do, because there's really nothing happening over here. My king is relatively safe. So let's castle kingside for the purpose of this. And then, since these two rooks are connected here, let's see what we can do here. Okay, I'm going to move the knight right here, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, that's most interesting. Okay, I am going to put the king in check with this knight, and then see what the opponent does. They decided to move the king. Okay, then my knight will capture their knight. That's all right. That's totally all right. And then my bishop will just put the king in. Wait, that's actually a really bad move, because then the king would defend the rook after the rook kills the bishop. So now it's not a good idea to try attacking that. Instead, I should try to get other pieces involved in the action somehow. So let's move some pawns out. Let's start getting these pawns active. Okay, now we will attack this rook. Where is that rook gonna go? Oh, the rook is gonna let a pawn kill. Okay, Stockfish level 2 is really dumb. It just gave up a rook for absolutely no reason. That's actually quite funny. Now I'm ahead in material. I'm gonna win. Yeah, this game is gonna be an easy win now. Because see, now what we got going on is let's just wipe that out. Okay, then my queen, well, actually, I don't want to move the queen yet, because I don't want to lose this pawn. I know it's just a pawn, but it's good to not lose pawns for no reason, So let's move this pawn, and we're going to, no. Well, I'm making decisions as if it makes that much of a difference, because this is going to be an easy win, I'm pretty sure. So let's see what we got going on now. Now this pawn is no longer protected. I can see that. Let's protect it with this rook. That's what we're going to do. We're going to protect that pawn. It's by itself. Okay. Interesting. Now this pawn is also not protected. The computer could have taken that, but they didn't feel like it. So let's now defend this pawn so the rook can't take it. Oh, okay, that's odd. That's very odd. Because now my king doesn't want to go here because then it would be checkmate. That's embarrassing. See, if you don't pay attention, and you leave your king out in the open, bad things can still happen. So even though I'm ahead in material by a lot, I could have been checkmated if I had done one wrong move. And in chess, you're always like one move away from checkmate, it seems. That's how it usually feels. So let's see here. Let's see what we can do. This is most interesting. Okay. This is actually a very surprising game. Let's bring the king right. Is that what I want to do? Honestly, guys, I'm not sure if that's what I want to do or not. Man, okay, I thought this was going to be easy win, but it looks like I will have to think a little bit. You can never really underestimate Stockfish. Sometimes it'll let you be ahead in material just to find some other trap against you. So and if I was playing a live game with someone, I would never have this much time to think. That's why this is so great to play with the computer with no time control. So let's see here. Okay, let's get this into the action. Okay, let's see what happens with that pawn. Will that pawn take that pawn? Okay, that pawn did take that pawn. So now the queen comes right here. And will there be an exchange of queens? Ah, that is funny. Okay. Well, now I'm going to capture this. Yeah, yeah. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to capture this pawn with the rook, and then I'll get rid of the bishop next. Okay. And see, this pawn right there is undefended. But look at this. Now this rook defended by this pawn can attack the queen. What's the queen going to? Okay, the queen knew it couldn't escape and sacrificed itself. So now my opponent doesn't have a queen, but I do. So this is going to be very entertaining now. Okay, that bishop finally took that pawn. Oh, and then why did I let it take the rook? Why did I do that, guys? That's embarrassing. I was not paying attention. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the king in check. Then we're going to capture this pawn. And then we're going to capture this pawn. Let's just wipe out all the opponent's pawns. It's not such a bad idea, honestly. My opponent doesn't have enough pieces, even though I did let them take that extra rook. My opponent doesn't actually have enough pieces to be a danger to me. It's actually quite funny. Okay. All right. Let's get rid of that bishop there, just so it doesn't cause any unforeseen trouble. So now, check. Okay. And then we're going to put the king in check again. All right, this is entertaining now. Check, but it's not checkmate. But now I can capture another pawn, check, and now I capture the rook, check again. My opponent has a king left, that's all they have. Now I just need to finish checkmating the opponent. That's all I need to do. It's not going to be too hard. Let's just get the other pieces active. Actually, yeah, let's just advance that pawn there. Let's just advance the pawns. Let's get a second queen. There we go. There's another queen. Now the opponent is just about to be checkmated, except one little problem. Yeah, there is one little problem there. See, then they would have an escape spot. So instead, okay, this is going to be fun. Now the opponent can't do anything. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to get 3 queens. I don't need 3 queens. There is a way to checkmate with just my 2 queens. But hey, let's get a 3rd queen just for the fun of it. Promotion in chess is when a pawn gets to the other side, you get another queen. But oh, it's still not checkmate because this pawn messes it up. So let's get this pawn moved up. Okay. This is fun. Check. Check. Checkmate. There we go. It's checkmate. Okay, I gotta admit, level 2 stockfish definitely was a little bit more challenging than level 1 stockfish, but my London system still set me up with a defensive formation. But before the stream is over, I really should play some live chess games against other people and see how things go. So when I have to know what a raid is. Okay, I'm gonna do what is a raid on Twitch. I need to know what a raid is. Okay, let's see here. Okay, here's a page about it. Let's see here. I need to see what a raid is. Okay. Okay, this is from the official Twitch website. Okay. Using raids, any creator, regardless of affiliate or partner status, can send viewers over to another channel after a stream. Raiding can be a great way to make connections and network with other broadcasters by sharing audiences and growing your communities. How do raids work? Okay, a raid sends everyone on your channel page at the time of the raid to the target channel. To start a raid, type raid followed by the name of the channel you wish to raid. For example, to raid the Twitch Presents channel, you would type /raid Twitch Presents. Okay, and alternatively, click the raid channel quick action on your dashboard to select a channel from the suggested list. Okay, once you initiate a raid, a pop-up at the top of the chat tracks the number of participants and begins to count down to the raid start. Viewers will be able to opt out of joining before the raid begins. After 10 seconds or when everyone's ready to go. Click Raid Now to redirect everyone on your channel page to the target channel. If Cancel or Raid Now is not clicked before the purple countdown bar at the bottom depletes, the raid will automatically begin. Interesting. So if I was to try raiding a channel, Okay, raids are best used at the end of your broadcast. If you raid another channel while online, your viewers will be directed from your channel to the new channel. However, any new viewers entering your page will see your stream, not the target raid channel. When a channel is raided, a message in chat notifies everyone on the target channel. Okay, this is interesting. So that means if I'm about to end a stream, then I could choose a username and try to raid. Raids are intended to be a positive collaborative experiences. It's important that broadcasters are able to maintain control over their channel. There are a number of tools available that can help broadcasters manage incoming raids. Let's see here. Interesting. So, okay. So, okay, here's what I'm thinking. Okay, how do I choose what channel to raid? You can raid any channel you want. Raiding your peers can be an easy way to share audiences, and raiding a smaller streamer just might make their day. Okay. Okay, so you can only do it if that channel is enabled raids. Okay. Okay, if you get raided, here are a few tips to capture the attention of the raiders. Thank the streamer and raiders for joining. Introduce yourself to the raiders. Keep it short. Be genuine and talk about what your channel is about. If you know the person raiding you, introduce them to your community too. With a bit of luck, the raiders will stick around or even follow you. The next time you stream, try raiding the streamer that raided you to share the fun. Oh, that's actually a great idea. So, actually, okay, here's what I want to do. Since okay, let me check here. That person with the Japanese sounding name, which I think may be the same one from like Shogi, they might be. Okay, let me type in their username. Wait a minute. Wait. Five ratings and statistics? Chess profile. You mean this person is like a famous chess player? I would never have guessed. Okay, so yes, they are a user on live chess, but okay, here's their Twitch page. So I just want to see what the Twitch page of this user is who rated me. Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm not gonna watch all of this right now, but so this person is a chess streamer. So because they decided to raid me and they're watching my stream, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna follow this person. So okay, that's really good. So so that's good. I just followed them. So yeah, that's great. So I'm still learning about Twitch and what it offers. So okay, so thank you. I don't know how to say your name, but okay, I just followed on Twitch. Okay, I just followed Karmitra on Twitch. Okay, so because they were rating my stream, then I followed their channel so I can watch their chess streams and maybe I'll learn something watching their chess streams. That's actually super cool. So here's what I'm going to do. Actually, let me search that same exact username. Let's see here. Wait, okay, let me try this. Oh, okay. So it's someone from India. Okay, I'm going to follow this person on Light Chess. They have 724 tournament points. They're from India. So this person plays chess on livechess.org. And oh no way. They play bullet and blitz chess, but zero rapid or classical games. No correspondence games. That is impressive. That's very, very impressive. So now everyone knows, now everyone knows this person who watched my stream. Now we know where to find them. Oh, that should show. Okay, let's look at all time. Okay, so it doesn't really change much here, but so now we know who they are. So that's actually very cool. So I'm following them. That's so cool there. Um, oh, okay. So they did play correspondence games, but they must have been unrated because there is no rating for correspondence games. That's interesting. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to challenge this person to a. Okay, I'm going to challenge them to a correspondence game, and we'll just give them 14 days per turn. Let's see if they ever want to play with me. Let's just send a random challenge to this person. Let's just see if they agree to it or not. Yeah, so they can respond to that in their own time. There's no rush on that. But I'm still streaming, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some live chess games. But I don't play blitz or bullet chess because I lose when I do. So I'm going to, let's do something. Let's do quick pairing. I want a 30-minute classical game because I do best in games where I have a lot of time to think. So what I'm going to try to do now is I am going to, um, let's see if I get a game here. If I get somebody to match me on a 30-minute live chess game, then let's see if I can use the London system that I started talking about. Let's see if I can use the London system. Now keep in mind, even if I'm playing as black, there is a way to sort of do the London system. Oh, here we are. We have a game started now. So I'm playing as black, which means white's going to make the first move. What will they do? I don't know what they're going to do here. Oh, they decided to do king's pawn opening. All right, here's what we're going to do. I will do queen's pawn. They will take it. They will most likely take it. And then I'm going to get fancy and I'm going to bring out this knight here, kind of like I was doing a later version of the London system, but I'm just going to go ahead and attack that pawn and see what they do in response. This is going to be interesting. I thought about just capturing the pawn with my queen, but that's what I've done in a lot of my games, so I'm trying to use the knight for something a little bit different. Because I don't want to have them chase my queen around like happens sometimes. And the thing with live chess games is the other people who play it are likely to take a little bit of time to think. Okay, so there we got that. So now, all right, now let's get the bishop moved out here. Now, because I have these annoying pawns right there in the center, I can't really set up the London system the usual way that I would ordinarily. So things are going to be a little bit different. Let's see how this goes. Okay, they moved the knight. Okay, this is where it's going to get interesting. So now I think I'm going to move this pawn 2 spaces and see what they do. Because moving it 1 space doesn't work in this case, but they can still en passant, they can still capture it as if I had moved just 1 space. But they chose not to do that. Okay. So now let's pin the knight here. The knight can't move because it would put the king in check. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. So now, before anything too dangerous happens, let's capture this knight. We don't want to leave the opponent with the knight. Knights are dangerous. Okay, now this bishop here, let's put it right up here next to the queen. Let's attack that queen with the bishop, because the bishop is defended by the knight that I put out there. That's my first, well, a second move technically. See, the London system doesn't always work when playing as black, just because your opponent's going to start attacking you because they have the initiative playing as white. But if you look at the time in this game, my opponent is taking a lot longer to decide on their moves than I am. Okay, this is where I'm living a little bit dangerously. Okay, I'm going to bring the queen here. I could move the knight. Wait. Oh, I want to move the knight. I want to move the knight to defend this pawn. Let's still get somewhat like a formation here going. Oh, I see what they think they're doing now. They're trying to go that route. Okay, let's get this bishop moved elsewhere. Let's just wait a minute. Oh, I see how this is. I see what they got going on here. Because then if I move the bishop out of the way, then the queen just comes right there. So yeah, that's not good. This is not a good position for me right now. So how will I handle this? Hmm. Yeah, this is an interesting one. I need to make a good move here. Okay. I'm going to lose the bishop. I'm living dangerously. I'm gonna lose the bishop because the pawn will take the bishop, but then see I will capture back. So there was no good way because I would have lost a pawn anyway, and my bishop can't do any attacks. So I'm kind of giving up the bishop just because I'm not going to be able to attack with that bishop anytime soon. So I'm sacrificing the bishop for the greater good of society. I'm not so sure. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I see what they did there. I see it now. Well, they're attacking this Yeah, they are attacking that, but if they're going to do that, then how about I push, wait, do I want to do that? Honestly, guys, I'm not so sure if that's what I want to do or not. Huh. Well, this game is certainly interesting. There's no denying that. And this queen, where this queen is just not, it's not really the best spot for this queen to be in. So we need to provide an escape route for this queen. So let's just move that pawn there. Let's move that pawn out of my way. I am so behind in material right now. This is sad. Well, not that much, but I've lost a pawn and a bishop already. About to lose another bishop. I'm really surprised. Yeah, see, finally they decided to actually take it. I wonder why it took them so long. That was weird. It was extremely weird. Okay, well, here we go. So now let's capture that pawn back. What a very interesting game here. Yeah, I'm behind in material by quite a bit, but that doesn't mean I've lost the game yet necessarily. Things could still turn around. Let's see what happens. My opponent has not yet decided their move. The thing is that my opponent just never makes their move and runs out of time to win the game by default. So even though the time limit is very generous when you're playing 30-minute classical games, you can still run out of time eventually. Okay, let's get this queen moved out of the way here. Let's get this queen moved over here. I just don't want it behind that knight, because otherwise I can't move the knight without losing my queen. Okay, so now they're defending that pawn. Okay, so that's how it's going to be. Now might actually be a good time to castle, but there's no point in castling this way. It might be good to castle over here because I want to connect these two rooks. Okay, that's kind of interesting there. But let's see. So I just lost another pawn, but do I want to capture that bishop? I'm not sure. Honestly, I really don't know at this point. Instead, nah, I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna just ignore that entirely, and I'm just gonna advance this pawn. And let's see what happens. Will their pawn take my pawn? Okay, they decided to go that route. Well, that's a little interesting. Okay, I'm gonna capture that bishop just so it's not threatening my king there. And I think I may have already picked out my move because after the queen takes my knight, wait, the queen didn't take my knight? Honestly, I must say I'm surprised. Okay, if that's the case, let's go ahead and let's put this pawn there and attack the bishop. I mean, why not? I'm just going to go for it. Let's attack the bishop. Where's the bishop going to go? This is weird, man. This game is funny. This is the funniest game. I'm behind a material, but I feel like I'm in a good position. I just have a feeling. Okay, so they took that knight finally. That's interesting. So now let's capture that bishop, and then the king will take my pawn. I'm sure they will there. Okay, so now this is turning out to be very entertaining. Okay, okay, this pawn has no defense. Let's put this pawn there so it's defended by the other pawn. So now my opponent is only 2 points ahead of me. Okay, and I can't move that knight right now. So I need to sort of, okay, I'm going to move this king back here so that my knight will be able to move. Because I don't like that. Oh, that's, now they're trying to do something there. Okay, well, I am going to attack this queen like so. And we'll just see what they decide to do about it. Okay, so they moved the queen there. That's quite all right. And then I'm going to, oh, I see. This knight, okay, this knight needs some defense. The knight is not in a good position. It can just be taken. So let's move this rook right here to defend that knight. It's not a bad idea. We just don't want that knight to get lost. Okay, well, hmm. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna capture this pawn. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner, to be honest. I don't know why. I mean, I had the opportunity. It never occurred to me. Okay, now then that knight has done that. So let's see here. What's happening? Now let's get this rook involved into the action. We just want to create a basic threat with this rook. Oh, I see. Okay, first we're going to wait. We don't want. Okay, I'm gonna put the king in check there. I don't like what they're setting up there. That looks bad. But first, I'm gonna put the king in check. Hmm. The king has to move somewhere. Where is the king gonna move to next? Man, this game just turned interesting. Okay, that's a pretty basic threat. I need to prevent these rooks from coming down here, though. So, there we go. Let's put a stop to that. Oh, that queen decided to go there. Okay. Well, now I'm going to put the king in check here. Check. Okay, now I'm in a good position. I'm in a really good position now. Now, can I capitalize on this? Can I win the game from this position? Maybe. King has got to do something. Or maybe they will move a rook in the way. Or maybe they'll move the knight in the way. Okay, they did that. So now I'm going to capture their knight. Wait, or am I? Is that what I want to do? Because then they just take my rook. Well, I'm in a dangerous spot here. Okay, that's okay. It's worse than I thought it was. Okay, check. Okay, and then check again. Okay, huh, check. Oh man, this is funny. I have no idea what's gonna happen. It's wild. Chess is an exciting game. You wouldn't think that a turn-based board game would be this exciting, but it is. Honestly, guys, it really is. Okay, so now let's put them in check again, right here. Okay, all right, check again. What is happening? Oh, man. Oh, this is funny. I just keep putting them in check. What are they gonna do? Can they? Oh yeah, they can put the rook in the way. And then what will I do? Oh, guys, this is great. This game is great. Okay, then they did that, so now I'm going to put them in check again. And see, they can't capture my knight with the rook because doing so would put them in check with the queen. But they can't take my queen because they're in check with the knight. Okay, that's fun. Okay, so now, okay, the queen was about to take this rook. So instead, I'm going to use this. Is that what I want to do? Okay, let's go for it. Check again. Let's put the king in check. We're just going to put the king in check and see what they do. How many times can I put my king in check? Every single turn. Okay, then check again. We're putting them in check one more time. Oh, guys, this is crazy. Um, okay, check. I'm going to keep putting my opponent in check. I'm down in material, but they can't checkmate me as long as I keep them in check. Okay. All right. Check again. Let's keep putting her in check. My opponent is basically paralyzed. Oh, I see. I can't put them in check this time. Hmm. But let's get my king. Let's get my queen over here so I can put them in check somewhere else. Now the queen is going to try to put my king in check. I know they're going to try to seek revenge, but their rooks are kind of over there, and their king is over there. And they're behind on time too, because every time I put them in check, they had to figure out what type of thing to do to get out of check. So they lost a lot of time. If all else fails, just keep putting your opponent in check. It works, arguably. Okay, that's interesting. Hmm. Okay, then we're going to move this pawn 2 squares forward. Okay, this is crazy. uh, okay, I had a feeling they would try to put my king in check there. Just had that kind of feeling, you know? Then they'll probably put my king in check again. Oh man. Okay. Check. Putting the opponent in check again. This time my queen is defended by a pawn. I don't like what they're doing there though. They're trying to set up something really nasty. Okay, then I'll capture this pawn and put them in check again. Okay, then check again. Oh, guys, this is great. This is great. Oh, they have like all the material, but I never stop putting them in check. And that's where it gets funny. Okay, so now, okay, check again. Oh, this is funny, man. They have 2 rooks. And if I didn't keep putting them in check, they could checkmate me easily. But I keep them in check as much as I can because I don't have any other plans. Oh man, this is great. This is just a magnificent game. Okay, what's happening here? Okay, yeah, let's just put them in check again. See, the thing is, every time I put them in check, then it does take a thought process because if they just mindlessly move their king to a certain spot, then I may end up doing something worse than putting them in check. I might take a rook or something. I'm forcing them to think. Oh man. All right. Check again. Okay, I can't put them in check again there. I can, however, put them in check by going here. Oh, this is great. This is just great. Okay, so now what do we got going on here? Now let's put them in check here. Oh, this is great. This is funny. Okay, then they do that. So that they do that, but then if I put them in check, like, let's put them in check with the pawn. See if we can sacrifice a pawn. But are they going to take the pawn? Or are they going to move to the side? Oh, oh, they're going to take the pawn. All right, now I got it. I captured a rook. I captured their rook, guys. That's insane. Now, their queen is still a danger because it can put my queen in check. But I kept putting them in check so many times. Oh, this is fun. The game's not over yet, but my opponent's probably going to lose on time now. It's probably what's going to happen. Okay, so then they put my king in check like that. So then I move the rook in the way, block the check by the queen. They're probably going to do what I did to them. They're probably going to keep my king in check so that I can't do anything. But they're behind on time, so even with that tactic, they still don't stand a chance. Oh man. Oh, okay, so I'm not in check. That's actually good. But now I'm going to, oh, wait a minute. I see how this is. Because if I capture their rook, then they just capture my rook. So instead, I'm going to advance this pawn, put the king in check again. Just going to put the king, yeah, keep the king in check. That can't be a bad idea. The king is going to be in check again. Oh man. You know, I'm going to send this person a message. I respect that you haven't resigned. I respect that you haven't resigned. This is great. King's in check. What are they going to do about it? Where are they going to go? The king has only one spot to move to. What's taking so long to think here? And they can't block it. So now, check again. They're in check again. Now where are they going to go? Oh, oh, okay. That's how it's going to be, huh? All right. Capture the queen. They're going to take my queen next. That's fine though. I have a rook. I have one rook, and that's all I need to win this game. Okay, then I'm gonna bring the king back up here. Where's the king gonna go? My rook can destroy all of their pawns. Like this. Let's destroy this pawn. It can't advance to become a new queen. I thought I was gonna lose this game for sure, guys. I was so sure that I was just gonna lose it. But apparently not. This is funny. This is the dumbest game. Oh, guys, this is great. Guys, does anybody see why I love chess so much? It keeps you guessing. You never know how it's going to turn out. You just never know how the game's going to turn out. I especially love classical games where there's 30 minutes on each time because it allows me to really look at the situation and absorb how funny it is. I kind of suspect that they're going to resign. That's part of why I sent that message. I said, I respect that you haven't resigned and watch them resign. Because if they resign now, I'm not going to respect them, you see. That's how it works. Okay, I'll advance my pawn. They're going to run out of time if they don't hurry up their moves. They need to hurry up and let me checkmate them before they run out of time. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's put them in check again. Check again. I have a plan to checkmate them. The problem is their king and their pawns are in my way, and I can't get my queen to the other side. I want to turn that into another queen. That's what I'm trying to do, and they're not letting me do it. Oh, well, that's fun. Well, look at this now. Now where's their king gonna go? It's trapped on the final rank there, the final row right there at the top. White resigned, black is victorious. Hey, wait, they're trying to. Oh, they want to rematch me? They lost and they still want to rematch me? Okay, I was going to end the stream, guys. I was totally going to end the stream, but they wanted to rematch me after that game. Oh, wow. This is fun. Glad you rematched me. Glad you rematched me. Yeah, this is fun. This is just fun. Okay, I'm setting up my London system. I don't know if this is going to work out or not. I really can't tell you at this point. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I'm going to bring the bishop right back there. Let's hope this game doesn't go as long as the last one did. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. I'm just getting my pieces in my formation here. The exact position of this bishop is not important, except that if they do capture my bishop, I want to get this pawn out of the way of this rook. That's kind of why I did that. Okay, so they moved their knight there. Okay, I will just assume the offensive position here, attack that knight with the bishop. They say I'm not political, and I said neither am I. I stream chess and shogi. They thought that I was political because I'm a Twitch streamer. Guys, Twitch is for gaming. I know there's other things going on, but Twitch is for gaming. I don't consider myself to be a political person. But even if I was political, that doesn't mean that I want to take the focus off of chess. Okay, so they moved that there. How weird is this, guys? Okay, if they're gonna do that, then let's pin that knight. I want to attack that knight instead. Because while that king is there, then the knight is pinned. Still not sure why they would assume I'm political. Okay, there we go. So let's capture that bishop there. Okay, and then I will capture that knight. Okay, then let's move this knight up here and just see what becomes of it. Okay, then they move that knight back there. That's kind of interesting. Okay, this knight has not seen any action yet. I kind of want to get this other knight involved in some way. Okay, yeah, let's just get this a knight out here. We want to be able to do something with the knight. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. What are they doing? Oh, I see how it is. Okay. We have to block the check, but then they're going to, yeah, then they're going to take this pawn, and they can do that. There's no reason they can't do that. That's frustrating. I was gonna, okay. Oh, wait, they did not. Oh, okay. Wait, they resigned. I think they moved their queen to the wrong spot. Oh, I see what happened. I see you clicked in the wrong spot. Clearly, that was a mistake. Good games anyway. All right. Yeah. 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 Thanks for playing and good night. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. That was awesome. Oh, hey, someone just messaged me. Hey, aren't you the streamer? Yes, that's me. Chastity White Rose, the chess comedian. I make chess and similar games my main Twitch content now. Sweet. So yeah, somebody messaged me and say, "Hey, aren't you the streamer?" Yes, that's me, Chastity White Rose, the chess comedian. I like to think of myself as sort of a comedian. Okay. So anyway, um, I'm gonna close this out. I'm just gonna close my web browser now and just go back to my main scene here. Thank you anyone who watches this video. This did not exactly go as I expected because I was trying to teach the London system. I was going up against the computer. I thought the computer games were pretty good examples, but I wanted an actual live chess game to really show the London system. And the thing about the London system that you have to remember is you almost never make the full setup, but it is a defensive position that if you can achieve the full setup, then you have a perfect position where everything is defended by everything else. But it's a flexible system. It's a philosophy where if you can't make all the moves, make the moves that are going to mess up your opponent's attacks. Like you might decide to move up a pawn to block a check, for instance. That's something you might do. So anyway, um, I am tired because I've been streaming a long time, and I need to get back to my schoolwork. But thank you very much for joining my stream, and maybe you learned something. And those chess games I played were very interesting, especially that one really long chess game. That was great. Thank you for joining. Catch me in the next stream.